Freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
Stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you want to have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. I'm having a good time.
Liberty on tour. Liberty on tour. That's right. We got Ethan Levita, he's out hitchhiking, Liberty on tour. He's going across, spreading the Agora message, and he's going to be in Phoenix. I think he's here now. They're trying to hook it. Well, you're hitchhiking, man. It's hard to keep a schedule, you know what I mean? So we're going to have Ethan in the second hour. So, you know, hopefully they're hooking up with him, get him down here, and we'll have that conversation. That will be interesting. And we're getting everything ready for our wallet voting Silver Bullet project with the gun shows and everything. And, you know, we're putting it all together. We're going to hit this hard beginning of 2011, and I'm telling you, man, they wanted to take out Ernie. This is why. And I blame Max Kaiser. Go get him. And Ron Paul, somebody else. You know, we're just followers, man. You know, but I'm concerned because this is I've always known. I've had that walletvoting.com orgnet for 7-8 years. I've been waiting for this. I knew eventually it was going to come down to where we spend our money. And they're going to take, if we gave them 100% of everything that we earned, if we were just slaves for the man, it's still not enough money. I mean, we're going to go the way of Iceland, hopefully. They just say, you know what? You want to collect? Well, I don't know where that government is. We kicked them out. Go talk to them. They're on a barge somewhere or something. We started over. We did a new constitution. We're done. So, you know, that may be the way we go. Now, what I'm going to do is explain what we saw coming back then. We wanted to highlight it. We wanted to articulate what was happening. We wanted to educate people. We wanted to be on record saying, hey, man, you know, we knew what y'all was doing. I'm going to tell you this story so you'll understand just how much we knew. Okay. When we knew that they were violating the state constitution and they were putting debt on illegally into the next fiscal year by just check kiting, is what it came down to. So we go, all right, well, we can highlight this. When Symington was governor, they had a surplus one year of it was a bunch of money. It was like $85 million they had. And they had lobbyists. When I went to serve the papers for the lawsuit, because I knew they were going to spend it, and they had a $158 million deficit. And I go, this doesn't even pay off the deficit. And you're going to be spending the surplus? You don't have a surplus. Who are we kidding? So we wanted to get this into the rhetoric, into the campaign, and to people understand what was happening. When I went to file and serve the papers on the governor, and the governor's, I go in there were lobbyists literally lining the wall. There were standing room only. We are in line for our special interest day law, what we're going to do for you if we get. Now, I sat there and I watched it happen. Well, this happens all the time, but it just happened to be they all wanted to meet with the governor. So we had a big event out there, Arizona State Fair, which down at Veterans Memorial Coliseum, where the Suns used to play before they built them a little Taj Mahal. So we go, all right. We wanted to make a big deal out of this, so we took these articles. I wrote a guest article for the Arizona Republic explaining this. We had the lawsuit. We would put this information out, and it became a political issue. Finally, a legislator that was relatively new, that eventually his name was Jeff Grosskost, he became Speaker of the House. And it was based on this and a lot of other things like it. He was also our safe legislator. Second Amendment is for everyone. Are you a safe legislator or an unsafe legislator? You know, and it was the beginnings of the unrestricted concealed carry that we just sort of almost got now. Well, you can carry conceal without a permit and everything. My problem with it is that they always go at the Bill of Rights thing, and we've had Alan Corwin on from gunlaws.com, and he'll call it constitutional carry. And I go, you know, it's a lot better than most. I mean, you don't need a permit, you can carry concealed and all that kind of stuff, but I don't consider it constitutional. Whenever you come in contact with law enforcement, you got to let him know you got it and he can take possession of it, and you haven't done anything wrong. Don't tell me how constitutional it is when you got the very government man is the one that I'm supposed to be able to defend myself against, a tyrannical government, and they're the first ones that gets to disarm me. Yeah, you can call it something else, but it's not constitutional. So we'll get into that. At the same time, he was making the name, this legislator, which he had just passed away a couple of, and he wasn't very old, he was in his 40s, I think, passed away a couple of years ago from health complications. And what we did, and we became friends, and he kind of went down the dark side. When you get to be Speaker of the House, you got to make deals, you know. So he knew what to expect. What happened was he made a deal. He goes, look, and he got enough support that they were not going to pass a lot of different legislation in the budget and everything unless they pay off this debt that they had accumulated in this check kiting thing. So eventually it was zeroed out. They paid it off. It was done. You know, it was paid off. Yay! Then here comes Janet Napolitano. Well, they did it before. We can do it some more. Did it before, we can do it some more. You know, that should be a bumper sticker. So what we did is we go, all right, and we filed the suit again and again. I mean, we would go because what was the Constitution? You can't do this. All right, fine. The rules were if they did something that they were forbidden by law or didn't do something they were required by law, you go straight to the Supreme Court. It's called a writ of mandamus, special action, whatever your state is. So when we filed these things, the second time they go, you can't do it. And I go, well, I pulled out the micro. I just walked over to the next room where the microfiche was, pulled it out, and I said, well, I did it before. Here it is. Dang it. You file it, you get your government number. By having that government number, you know, it's a rest number, a referendum, an initiative, a lawsuit, something. You get that government number, it's like a starting pistol for the media. Hey, man, you're in the system. We got to do a story. So some people are going to know what's going on. So this is what we did. As we went through the process and showed that they were doing this illegal, unconstitutionally, this debt, during that process, I got a call from the governor's office. Now, I can't remember his name, doesn't matter, one of them. And he was the joint legislative budget, blah, 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 with the legislature and the governor's office, kind of they're going to do it. And this is what he said to me. He goes, Ernie, he goes, man, there's such a thing as good debt. I'm all ears, man. Pray tell. Tell me all about your good debt. He goes, when we build roads and we bond for that and we put loans out and we spend and we go in debt for all these different infrastructure and the government thinks you need whatever central plan they got for you. Well, if you have, the parks and the roads and all these benefits and so on, we pay that all off and do it as we go along. Well, then you got children that grow up 10, 15 years, 20 years later, and they're benefiting from and they didn't have to pay for it. They're benefiting. They're driving on roads that they're not paying for. That's not fair. And I go, wow, what kind of thinking is this? So you're guaranteeing that they're going to have a debt. Roads. Where we're going, there aren't any roads. And what they did is they guaranteed that we're going to be driving around on roads. Decades. Millennia. In the future, it's a road thing. We're going to be on roads. Just guaranteed it. 30 years from now, technology, we're going to have roads. But you like it or not, roads. So I understood their mindset, whatever excuse it would be to, get their buddies a job. Developers, contractors, construction, that's what drove here in Arizona. So that was their mentality, and we had to expose what their mentality was. Well, we did. To what end? Janet Napolitano came, and it got a lot worse, and that's where we're at now. Talk about it a little bit, and then we'll play this video of Meredith Whitney explaining just how bad it is. It's not gonna happen. It already happened. We'll be right back.